Miraculous Ladybug is diving into various ideas to make the series even more captivating. One of these concepts involves the existence of different multiverses in the series. Another daring exploration revolves around the fatal destinies that some characters will face. For instance, Rose grapples with a severe health issue endangering her existence, and it seems Lila might share a destiny akin to Gabrielle Agreste. She's going to unsubscribe from life. Today, we'll delve into all these intriguing ideas. I suggest you check out the description, since we'll be discussing other topics that will surely catch your interest. You'll also find timestamps to watch them at your convenience. Now, let's dive into this mischief and get to know Lila better and the potential destiny awaiting her in the near future. Lila Rossi, or should I say Cerice, because she has changed her name and look. Regardless of what she calls herself now or how she looks, she's a character who's not right in the head because she thinks carrying out evil deeds is totally fine. And this is reflected in almost every episode she appears in. Every time I see Lila appear in an episode, all of Cerice's issues are housed in her mind and heart. Particularly, one of her problems is with Marinette. She harbors strong, irrational hatred and contempt for her, doing everything possible to cause her harm. Many of us think that this resentment stems from not having Adrien's attention and love. There's also another possible reason. There's a theory that reveals who Lila/Cerice really is. According to this theory, this girl is Manon from the future, who somehow returned to the past to take revenge on those who ruined her plans at some point in her life. In a moment, we'll tackle this wild theory. If you don't want to wait, feel free to jump right to that part. The timestamp is available in the description. Whether or not the theory is true, it doesn't change the fact that Cerice has serious anger and hatred issues and is unwilling to forgive those who have wronged her in order to forget what has happened and be truly happy. In the hypothetical case that Lila is Manon from the future is true, her condition would be 100 times worse as she can't control her resentments, leading her to lie on multiple occasions without caring about the problems she may cause. In short, she's a little lying machine. In fact, if you've heard a lie from Lila, comment liar, liar, liar! We think it's possible that Cerice might be heading for a pretty sad fate. She's got the miraculous on the butterfly, so she's likely to try grabbing the other miraculous jewels, and she'll probably get her hands on several. So here's my prediction. Starting from the 8th season, Cerice is gonna go overboard with using the prodigies she's got, causing her the same health issues we saw in Gabrielle and Nathalie. They might be even worse because she's totally nuts, leading her to unsubscribe from life. And that's my wild guess. I know it sounds pretty out there, but Miraculous Ladybug is no longer that innocent show we started watching years ago. Now it's a series that's open to exploring different themes, doing it subtly to avoid harsh criticism. To everyone watching this video, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, because you'd be saying, Cerice, stop being so bad or you'll end up kicking the bucket! Before we begin, I will explain how the multiverse theory works. This theory suggests that there are many universes beyond our own, each being an alternate reality with its own rules and conditions. An example of this is the movie Spider-Man: Into the Spider-Verse. In this tale, we can see that each universe has its own Spider-Man, which has nothing to do with the Spider-Man from other universes. Sometimes, in a certain reality, they only share an approximate 35% similarity with another alternate universe. Occasionally, a universe can even share around 70% similarity with another universe. Now that you have knowledge about how the multiverse works, we will explore an alternate version of Miraculous Ladybug that significantly differs from the one we already know. Few are aware of the existence of an anime version of Miraculous Ladybug called Ladybug PV. This video was leaked on Zagtoon's YouTube channel, and there are rumors that the leak was intentional to generate interest among people before launching the 3D version of the series, which we all know now. In this miraculous universe, these characters are charming and present notable differences. Take a look at how Marinette looks in this version. She seems to have a more playful attitude and a bit more innocence. Even my father-in-law, Gabrielle Agreste, looks like a true, handsome, mature man. On the other hand, my boyfriend, Chat Noir, looks even more handsome, even more precious. It's stupidly exquisite. In short, this miraculous universe is a true gem. them. In fact, I have decided to name it the Universe of Extreme Beauty. Comment the name that you have given to this universe. If you give this video a like, you would be saying, I love you, Chat Noir anime! Let's take a peek at the iconic scenes etched in our minds, which have undergone some major changes. In the scenes featuring Marinette's house, we can't help but notice that it's no longer in the same old spot. In the series, the school was right next to Mary's house, and she only had to cross the street to get to school. In the movie, that's all completely flipped, as now the school's several blocks away, and she needs to even take the subway to get to her educational institution. And where her house used to be, there's now a fancy French restaurant? The characters are on another level, but everyone has a different perception of them. Many think the designs are cute, but others believe that certain designs are uglier than going to sleep without eating. Ugh. Let's dive into the controversial topic, starting with our future husband, who did undergo many changes in his design. Let's be honest, these little tweaks make him look super duper ultra mega handsome gorgeous! I repeat, he's incredibly charming!
It's beautiful!
Not even BTS members' beauty comes close to this, guys. If we look at both versions of Adrien at the same time, we'll notice the noticeable changes in him. The face changes are just a tad compared to the Adrien from the series, but his eyebrows, eye size, and mouth are almost the same. The color of his eyes is dark green in the new version, while the original Adrien's eyes are a light green. However, a significant change the new guy went through is his hair, which looks pretty realistic, even more real than my current boyfriend's love. As for his outfit, it's the same one we see everywhere. Regarding his personality as Chat Noir, he looks great, but what stands out the most is his hair. I won't go into more details because that would make this stage too long and boring, but you can rewind the video if you want to see Adrien or Chat Noir again and comment on things I didn't mention. I won't blame you. Power Players is another animated series from Zack Studios that tells the story of a 9-year-old boy named Axe. In this fascinating tale, toys come to life, and our protagonist has the incredible ability to transform into one of them, using a special device provided by his uncle. In one of the episodes, there is an image of the iconic city of Paris, the home of the Miraculous holders, which is a clear nod to the popular series Ladybug. When I had the opportunity to see Power Players for the first time and meet Axe, I couldn't help but notice his striking resemblance to my boyfriend Adrien. They both share an almost identical hairstyle, in addition to being blonde and having similar facial features. In a somewhat naive way, I even fantasized about Axe being Adrien's younger brother or cousin due to their surprising physical resemblance. In the series Ghost Force, a truly peculiar character is introduced, who is an approximate blend of like 35% of various miraculous characters. This unique character is Charlie, who combines traits from Kagami, Marinette, and Fei Wu. First and foremost, Charlie's oriental eyes closely resemble those of Kagami. Their face shares notable similarities with Kagami, a round shape and almost identical cheeks. Regarding the wardrobe, one can appreciate certain influences from Marinette, especially in the choice of colors, where similarities between both characters can be found. Additionally, Charlie's hairstyle exhibits a marked resemblance to Fei Wu's. Lastly, it is surprising that Charlie's hair color is identical to that of Kagami, Marinette, and Fei Wu. This combination of elements from different characters results in a unique and captivating character in the form of Charlie. In this part of the video, we're going to have a little drunk conversation. As we know, Miraculous and Ghost Force develop simultaneously and share the same world. From this premise, a wild but extremely interesting theory has emerged that would be a sin not to mention. The theory suggests that Liv Baker is Nathalie's daughter. I know, it sounds crazy, but I ask you to listen and then share your opinion on the matter. This theory is based on the similarities that exist between both characters. To determine if someone is another character's child, physical resemblance and attitudes are usually taken into account. Miss Baker shares both characteristics with Nathalie. Liv has dark hair with a side bang and reddish and sometimes even pink strands, which resembles Nathalie's hairstyle of dark hair with reddish strands. They also both sport a right-sided bang. Liv often dresses in dark clothing and has a strong character, prone to anger, traits that are also observed in Nathalie, who always dresses in dark colors and has a bitter personality like a lemon. They even share a similar fate, as neither Gabrielle Agreste nor Marlowe were ever in love with them. People speculate that Liv could be a version of Nathalie in a parallel reality when she was a teenager. An interesting curiosity is that in the beta version of Ghost Force, Liv was going to be named Nathalie, but in the end the name Liv was chosen. Anyway, you're free to comment on whatever you want. Lila is quite a controversial character, as she does some questionable things. However, there's something that would elevate her controversy to a colossal level. There's a strong rumor suggesting that Lila and Manon are the same character, except Lila is from the future and came back to the past to get revenge on Marinette Ladybug. This theory might sound pretty ridiculous, but there are plenty of pieces of evidence backing it up and making it quite believable. We've gathered all these proofs and condensed them into 3 significant clues, which we're going to share with you today. First evidence, time travel. Let's kick off this crazy adventure by explaining the basis of this theory. So far in the story, we know perfectly well that certain characters can time travel. An example of this is Bunnix, whose miraculous grants her the ability to travel through time through a portal that takes her to a specific point in history. Another example is the special Miraculous World Paris, Tales of Shadybug and Claw Noir. In the timeline where Shadybug and Claw come from, they are the villains of that dimension, and even their physical appearances are drastically different. Our father-in-law also goes through a major change. Now, he's stupidly handsome! Mwah, mwah, mwah! Now, let's move on to the other part of the evidence, which is now even more convincing in this conspiracy. It turns out that in the episodes where Lila, who now goes by Cerice, appears, they are related to time travel. Character from the future returns to the past. A similar event occurs in the episode Time Tagger, where a villain from the future goes back to the past with the purpose of snatching the miraculous from Ladybug and Chat Noir. At this point, the heroes are teenagers and lack experience to confront powerful villains. What's intriguing is that we discover that the kumatized villain is Chris, Nino's little brother. Right at the end of the same episode, suspiciously, Cerice agrees to look after Alia's twin sisters and Nino's little brother. The big question is, what would Cerice want with these kids? She might want to earn their friendship and affection since, in the future, she does become the main villain of the series and could manipulate them with the idea of akumatizing them. Given her love for manipulating people, this would be a piece of cake for her. If you leave an angry emoji in the comments, you'd be telling Cerice, "Stop manipulating people, or you will face me!" Also in this episode, Bunnix reveals the names of several future villains, and we even see pictures of them. There are 2 villains called Pain and Tears, the twin queens from the inner dimension, who stand out due to their physical resemblance to Alia's twin sisters. They are identical twins and share the same hair color, among other similarities. All of these clues suggest that they are the same characters. It's evident that this goes beyond a simple coincidence, and it seems like everything was planned by Cerice on purpose, since they will be her henchmen in the future. Now that I've explained what this first piece of evidence entails, personally, I believe it's genuine evidence and makes a lot of sense. If you think this evidence makes sense too, leave a thumbs up emoji and also support the video by giving it a like. If you think it didn't make sense, use the thumbs down emoji. Second evidence, Lila/Cerice is Manon. If you look at both girls simultaneously, at first glance you won't see anything. But if you take things seriously, suddenly you'll notice things you never detected before and that they have in common. Let's delve into what these 2 girls share. Lila's original appearance, as we knew her in the recent seasons, bears a striking resemblance to Manon, characteristics that we probably overlooked initially. Their eyes are honey and coffee colored, and we could even swear they're golden. In this timeline, there are only 3 characters with this type of eyes. Do you know who these characters are? That's right! One of these characters is Manon. The other character is also directly related to Manon, and I'll reveal it in a few seconds. Besides their eyes, both girls share the brown hair color and a similar skin tone. The only difference is that Manon wears her hair long in 2 ponytails, unlike Cerice. But if she wanted to conceal her true identity, she had to do it well. And what better way than cutting her hair to become unrecognizable to others? As we all know, this series holds many mysteries because the animators love hiding little hints about what will happen in the future. An example of this is a small flower that appeared when Nathalie was quite sick. The flower indicated that she would soon kick the bucket, and that's precisely what happened at the end of the 5th season. In this case, the animators have subtly added many details to Manon's design that directly reference Lila and Cerice. Since we first met this girl, we noticed that she wears flower details on her purple jumpsuit. 2 types of flowers to be exact, lilacs and irises. And what do these 2 flowers' names remind us of? Lila and Cerice. To arrive at the name Cerice, simply remove the letters I, R, and S from the word irises and add Cer. There you have the girl's name, Cerice. Likewise, the word lilac is one of the names for the color purple, which is the same color as Manon's jumpsuit. This leads us to believe that Cerice adopted the name Lila because purple is her favorite color. Finally, Cerice's appearance in the recent episode reminds us of a female character we've seen a lot in the series, Manon's mother, Nadia Chamak. This woman is the 3rd character who shares the same eye color as Cerice and Manon. Her hair is somewhat short and of a similar color, although not identical, and her clothing style is very similar, all in purple, just like Manon's. If Cerice dresses similarly to this lady, she might possibly be her real mother from who she learned to dress almost the same. Even in the sketches on a chalkboard, we can notice a picture of Nadia as part of the map. If this woman wasn't her mother, what connection could she have with Ladybug and Chat Noir to be included? It wouldn't make sense for this wicked girl to link her to her plans if she wasn't her true mom. Besides, we don't really know which of these female characters she calls mom is the real mother, as each of them are different and don't really play the role of a mother, which makes us think that none of them are her real mom. It seems like this theory has all the signs that the creators want to give us a little hint about who Cerice really is. And if we go by how theories work in this series, which the animators discreetly feed as possible, that this theory becomes canon. Leave a thumbs up emoji in the comments if you still believe that this evidence makes sense. Leave a thumbs down emoji if you don't think it adds up. 3rd evidence, Cerice's plan. Cerice harbors an irrational hatred towards Mary. However, keeping this theory in mind, have you ever thought about why she holds so much resentment towards Marinette? When we examine the scenes where Mary is Manon's babysitter, we can find one of the possible reasons. The babysitter's actions could be viewed questionably depending on the person observing those scenes. Manon liked to play with Mary and the superhero dolls, but the babysitter never let her win, arguing that villains should never beat superheroes. She didn't even allow her to play with Chat or Ladybug's dolls. The controversial part here is that for some people, it's okay for the babysitter, in addition to taking care of the child, to also provide some education. Other people prefer the babysitter to only play with the child and take care of them, leaving education in the hands of the parents. Everyone has their own opinion, and it's respected. However, Marinette went a bit too far by never letting Manon win and leaving her when she had to transform into Ladybug, leaving her in Alia's care. Have you ever thought about how a child would feel when they're not allowed to play their way and are abandoned by their babysitter who should be looking after them? I'm sure she must feel bad when her babysitter behaves that way. A babysitter is considered the child's second mother and shouldn't misbehave. And she didn't just do it once, but many times. Surely this led to a kind of resentment towards Marinette and Ladybug, who was her favorite superhero at the time. That's why Cerice is interested in taking Ladybug and Noir's Miraculous, traveling through time to, in a way, defeat Ladybug and Chat Noir now that they are teenage superheroes with little experience. This would give her a significant advantage over them, and the surprising thing is that she's achieving it. However, in the future, her plans may not have gone as she wished. I'll reveal an additional fact for those who stayed with us until the end of the video. As we already know, Cerice is a liar and a manipulator. She shares this last flaw with Manon. This girl manipulates Mary as she pleases. Look at these scenes as evidence. Pay attention.
Can I have Ladybug? You heard what your mom said. She won't know if I hide it. Sorry, but I had to sew her up. Really, please? Oh, please. Please, not the baby dollars! Okay, you can borrow Lady Wi-Fi. Wow, she sure had you wrapped around her little finger. What? No, she didn't. You know, Cheeky, I can't say no to those baby doll eyes.
As you may have noticed, Manon easily manipulates the story's protagonist. And when she's akumatized in The Puppeteer, she displays the same skill but more developed. This could be an animator's nod to this theory, as they knew it would be known sooner or later. As for Cerice's situation, we don't even need to remind you of how she is. She manipulated everyone, including Gabrielle Rest and Chloe. The evidence in this video points to Lila/Cerice being Manon from the future. However, you have the final say in deciding whether to believe it or not as another crazy theory in the miraculous world. Whatever your decision, I invite you to share your opinion in the comments, as it is very important. In this video, we are going to talk about a multiverse that turns out to be a hidden gem. South Korea is known for many things, and when I think of that country, the first thing that comes to mind is the band BTS, whose members are my boyfriends. But there's also something else that catches my attention. The series called Catch Teeny Ping. This series could be considered as an alternate universe of Miraculous Ladybug. Do you remember what I mentioned earlier about that in peculiar occasions there are universes that share 35% or even 70% similarity with other universes? Well, in the case of this Catch Teeny Ping universe, there is a possibility that it has a 40% similarity with the Miraculous Ladybug universe. In this universe, Marinette is a South Korean girl named Romi, who happens to be a princess from a magical kingdom called the Emotions Kingdom. In her story, Romi gets a job at a bakery and starts leading a double life. And just with this little detail, we can notice many similarities with the Marinette we know. Marinette's parents have a bakery, and sometimes she helps in the business. And Marinette also has a secret life. One thing that both girls share 100% is their habit of inventing ridiculous excuses to distance themselves from people and then be able to transform. When Romi transforms, she performs poses and gestures very similar to Marinette's. At the end of the transformation, she strikes a pose, and behind her, the symbol of the teeny ping that she is using at the moment appears. As you can see, the transformations of both girls are quite similar. The similarities between Princess Romi and Marinette don't stop there. It becomes even more interesting because they both share magical objects that function in almost identical ways. In Catch Teeny Ping, Romi has a magic wand that provides her with objects, and she has to figure out how to use them to solve the problems that arise. This is very similar to Ladybug, who also uses the power of her enchanted amulet to activate the magical objects. Additionally, when Princess Romi captures a magical creature, she performs a pose very similar to Ladybug's when capturing an Akuma. But the most intriguing part is that Romi also possesses a certain essence of Marinette. If we pay attention to some episodes of Catch Teeny Ping, we will realize that, at times, Romi's way of moving is identical to Marinette's. Here are some examples. I have no doubt that in this universe, Romi is truly Ladybug/Marinette. The South Korean Marinette also has my heart, just like my BTS boyfriends. Now, let's talk about a character who wasn't expected to appear in the movie, but did so at the last moment. This character is Luca. I believe the screenwriters of this movie are fans of Adrienette and Marishat, but they disliked Lucanette, and the best way to get back at Luca was to minimize his presence throughout the entire movie. Seriously, this character is barely seen by force. A person spends more time taking a sip of water than a scene where Luca appears, and I'm not exaggerating. I'm dead serious. In the scenes where he does show up, it only lasts for like 3 to 5 seconds. Regarding his design, I get the feeling that something isn't right, and many people within the Miraculous fandom feel the same same way. People feel that they didn't put in as much effort into his design as they did with, like, Adrien. In those brief scenes where he is seen, we get to see a bit of his face, and to our surprise, the animation team did kind of a copy and paste. They took the phrase, "if it ain't broke, don't fix it," quite literally. They essentially did something similar with the face, just gave it the shape and nothing more. Added a little detail to the facial expressions and that's it. As for the hair, it's okay, but it could have been much better. Indeed, this Luca from this alternate reality is extremely far from the Luca we all know. Did you like this new Luca? Leave a heart emoji if you did. You can also comment the broken heart emoji if you didn't. When we see this boy, whether as Adrien or in his Chat Noir persona, we rarely stop to think about what lies behind that beautiful smile or those silly jokes. This young Frenchman experiences sadness, loneliness, and many other emotions. Since his beloved mother fell into a coma, Adrien has become even more isolated and has lived a sheltered life from an early age. According to our research, this may have caused him to experience depression. Living in seclusion for such a long time can lead a person to madness, aggression, anxiety, or disobedience. The saddest part of all this is that it manifested in our boyfriend, especially when he decided to escape from home to go to school and have a normal life and make friends. I believe this can justify why Adrien fell in love with Ladybug first and didn't acknowledge that he also had feelings for Marinette. Ladybug was the first girl to accept him as a friend and trust him without knowing him and without expecting anything in return. If you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel, you would be telling Adrien, "Don't be sad, Adrien, because you have my friendship and all my love." Apart from Andy, there is another character who was also inspired by Adrien during their development. This character is Miss Jones. If we carefully observe Jones's outfit, you may not notice anything in particular. However, if we look at both characters at the same time, you may notice something that is slightly stands out. Miss Jones has an outfit quite similar to Adrien's. Both wear a white shirt with a black undershirt, although Adrien's undershirt has lines in yellow and green tones, while Miss Jones has yellow and red lines. Even both characters have their shirts' collars raised. I think this nod to our charming blonde is quite evident and shows the influence and admiration Adrien has had in the creation of other characters. Let's move on to the next universe, which is super cute. I'm sure many of you have heard of Miraculous Zag Chibi, a 2D series with the famous style of Japanese culture anime. But despite having this animation style, the miniseries was entirely created in France. Let's start by taking a look at the appearance of these two characters. Ladybug looks adorable in this version. She appears smaller. We could swear she's less than a meter tall, and her head is a tad larger than the Ladybug we already know. This detail is a fundamental characteristic of the Chibi style. Her hair and skin color remain the same shades, but what stands out in her style are her huge sky blue eyes that can catch your attention at a first glance. As for our little kitty, he also has a smaller stature and a big head. His beautiful green eyes stand out. The cutest detail they added, which you probably didn't notice, is that on his little paws, he has two tiny kitty paw prints, which probably leave a trail when he walks on the sand. This detail gives the character a unique touch. Overall, the characters are adorable. Just look at those little eyes. They're precious. Come on, admit it. They have cuter eyes than your ex. Now let's talk about the plot. This little mini-series focuses on Chat Noir, the little kitty who will do whatever it takes to win over his beloved bugaboo, but he always fails in his attempts. Even the city cats turn against him. In contrast, our little Ladybug will be attached to different objects, like cards and gifts, which show the deep obsession she has for the blonde guy we already know. The only downside to the series is the episode duration. They last from 2 to 3 minutes. In fact, it takes me longer to write a message to my crush only for her to not respond later. Answer me, you son of a bitch! This This alternate version can be found in an animated series called Randy Cunningham, 9th Grade Ninja. This series has a 30% similarity with Miraculous Ladybug. Let's mention the key points that Randy, 9th Grade Ninja shares with Miraculous. In Miraculous, we have Alia, who has a vlog where she publishes news about the superheroes of Paris. One thing that characterized Alia was her interest in uncovering Ladybug's identity and doing everything in her power to achieve her goal. In 9th Grade Ninja, there is also a girl who has the same characteristics as Alia. The girl in 9th Grade Ninja has reporting skills and is extremely invested in discovering the ninja's identity. Like Alia, she has a vlog where she reports controversial news. Regarding the main villains in both universes, they also share the same mode of operation. In the universe of Randy, 9th Grade Ninja, the villain is known as the Sorcerer. This villain lives in an underground prison beneath Norrisville High, and when he experiences intense negative emotions, he casts a spell that attaches to an object possessed by the character, transforming it into a chaotic monster. To break the spell, the ninja must locate the object where the spell has attached and destroy it. As you just saw, it has many similarities to Hawkmoth/Monarch. As we already know, Gabriel Agreste is the main villain of the series, and whenever he senses that a character is experiencing negative emotions, he sends an Akuma with the idea of turning them into a supervillain with magical powers and combat abilities. In the main characters of both stories, the multiverse theory is clearly evident. The Ladybug and Marinette of the Randy 9th Grade Ninja universe is a boy named Randy Cunningham. This boy almost has the same powers as Ladybug. To transform into a hero, Randy needs a magical ninja mask, and he also has a magical book that provides him with privileged information. In Marinette's case, she needs to carry her magical earrings, and she also has a mysterious book that contains hidden information about the miraculous. Furthermore, these magical objects share a similar background. Both magical objects are passed down from generation to generation. Additionally, in both tales, when they change bearers, the current bearer's memory is erased, and then it passes on to the next bearer. And to conclude this universe, both Ladybug and Randy solve problems in a similar manner. Ladybug has the enchanted amulet that, as mentioned earlier, generates objects that she can use to fix the destruction caused during the battle against the villain. In 9th Grade Ninja, Randy uses a magical book that presents him with a riddle to decipher in order to end the battles and defeat the monsters. This always happens towards the end, as it takes time for him to find the solution to the riddle. Undoubtedly, all these elements lead us to believe that Randy, 9th Grade Ninja, is an alternate reality of Miraculous Ladybug. One last time, let's delve into a Japanese alternate universe. Did you know Miraculous Ladybug has its manga version? That's right, you heard correctly. This version is considered a shonen manga featuring action-oriented plots and fun adventures. The first edition was released in 2021, although it had been confirmed since 2016. It took them 5 years to release the first volume. Jeremy Zag announced it on his social media with an image of Adrien's transformation into Chat Noir. In this new universe, there aren't that many differences in terms of the characters' appearances, except that, being an anime, they have anatomy closer to shonen anime protagonists. We can appreciate a more stylized and detailed Ladybug and Chat Noir. Let's admit it, they look amazing with this style! As for the story, it doesn't change much. It narrates the same story as the original series, with the incredible difference that in this universe, Hawkmoth's identity is revealed to the public from the episode Demo Illustrator. In the world of Miraculous Ladybug, there are all sorts of characters. Some are swimming in cash and living the high life, while others are sitting on massive secrets that, if they came out, would totally flip the series on its head. Then there's this super unique character, whose life is like a box of surprises. She's dealing with a serious illness that could totally snuff out her light, and on top of that, she's been hexed more times than you can imagine. This character is Rose Lavien. This video is going to make you see Rose in a whole new way. Today, we're gonna dive right into this girl's life and the issues she's dealing with every single day. Let me give you a sneak peek of what you're gonna see. Rose is braver and tougher than Ladybug and Chat Noir. Let's dive into this adventure with something we all need in life. Love! This super delicious and mega yummy feeling is all over the place in this girl's life. She loves herself, she's happy just being her, and she doesn't rely on anyone else to stay joyful. She's got the love of her pals, too. School scenes make this crystal clear. Everyone's got respect and fondness for her, except Chloe and Lila, but they don't even respect themselves. If you leave an angry emoji comment, you'd be saying, "Chloe and Lila, you're bad! Bad! Bad!" This is going down in Season 8 of Miraculous Ladybug. Back to the point. Rose has got a really special love thing going on. Julika's head over heels for Rose, and as the episodes roll, we find out that Rose is crushing on Julika too. Let's dig into this romance, cause it's like a fairy tale kind of deal. The love story between Rose and Julika is one of those that leaves you utterly amazed, showing how love can blossom in the most unexpected places. As the saying goes, opposites attract. And it fits this romance perfectly. Rose has a real soft spot for Julika, who, in terms of personality, is the complete opposite. The girl is quiet, extremely introverted, and enigmatic. Her hair is black with a purple streak covering her left eye, giving her a mysterious and incredibly appealing vibe. On the flip side, Miss Lavien is the perfect partner because she nudges Julika to grow, always encouraging her to conquer her fears and to show her true self to the world. She never misses a beat when Julika needs a push, and reminds her that she's unique and shouldn't be afraid to be authentic. Speaking of Julika, she's not just any girlfriend, she's also a loyal friend to Rose, always there to support her. The friendship and love they share are a genuine display of mutual understanding and acceptance. Rose manages to see beyond Julika's shyness, appreciating the depth of her calm and introverted personality. Talking about miraculous couples, honestly, Rose and Julika take the crown as the most adorable! If you drop a heart emoji in the comments, you'd be shouting, "Long live love!" Switching gears, let's delve into something tough. We're gonna dig into a part of her that's pretty darn heavy. In the episode titled Guilt Trip from the 4th season, we find out something that completely shifted the way that we see this character. Turns out, while the girl was right in the middle of class, she started to feel unwell. This led her to leave the classroom and head to the nurse's office with Marinette. Unfortunately, as the plot unfolds, we learn that Rose is dealing with a serious illness that's been with her since she was really young. There's a long list of possible diseases that could be causing her health issues. The rumors and theories strongly point to a specific illness that Rose might be facing. This illness is super dangerous and, if diagnosed, requires urgent and proper treatment, as without it, it could lead to the loss of life. We're referring to cancer. To avoid any issues with YouTube, we won't keep directly mentioning the name of this illness. Instead, we'll use the term the C issue. There's a really high chance that Rose might be dealing with this kind of issue. The evidence is all throughout her life. Rumors point to the episode Guilt Trip as a nod to this condition. At crucial moments in the episode, we see a special animation. Essentially, these scenes show how the C issue develops within the body. If you compare the scene to an actual simulation, you'll see how strikingly similar they are. Likewise, in certain episodes that reveal past moments never included in any episode, we notice that Rose used to have long hair. However, at some point in her life, she started wearing it short. This subtly suggests that she lost hair at some point. Hair loss is a side effect of the chemotherapy a person receives to combat the C issue. Apart from this, there are many other symptoms present in the girl's life. The question we all wonder about is, will the series writers and directors go further and put an end to Rose's life? It's not a far-fetched idea to think that this event might take center stage in the series' future. In the 5th season, we saw Gabriel and Nathalie kick the bucket. Even our mother-in-law, who we thought was already in the other dimension, got resurrected. Therefore, we can't rule out that Rose might have an unexpected fate. At this point, anything is possible in this series. Now that we know it's highly likely that our beloved Rose is dealing with this issue, we can better understand why she's been akumatized so many times. From the beginning of the series until now, we've seen her fall under the spell more than 5 times, turning her into Princess Fragrance. The first time she fell victim to Hawk Moth was in the early Miraculous episodes. Chloe shattered Rose's illusions of meeting Prince Ali and caused her to get punished for disrupting class. This ultimately led her to being akumatized. I believe the reason she's been enchanted on numerous occasions is tied to the health issues she's facing. It makes her feel deeply sad, and even though she tries to keep her spirits high, there comes a point where she can't hold on anymore. She loses controls of her emotions when someone bothers her, and that's where the villains seize their opportunity and put a spell on her. When she got the pig miraculous, this character's life became even more interesting. In the same episode we mentioned a while ago, Guilt Trip, Ladybug grants her the power of the pig in order to help save her friends who are in grave danger. From that point on, every time Ladybug needs an extra help, she turns to Miss Lavian, who helps her in defeating the villains. This leads us to something remarkable and unexpected. If we view this situation from a different angle, we might be amazed as we're witnessing something incredible. Rose Lavian stands above both Ladybug and Chat Noir. It might sound like an exaggeration, but it's not. If we base it on what we've seen in this video, especially considering Rose's health, you'll understand where I'm going. If it were true that she's dealing with the serious health issue I mentioned earlier, the condition that starts with the letter C, that would make her the most outstanding heroine in the modern era in the world of animation. It makes total sense, since despite her health not being the best and the illness potentially coming back, nothing stops her from safeguarding Paris from the villains. And it's not an exaggeration. The episode where Rose started feeling unwell is the very same episode she received the Miraculous, and she was the only one who saved the characters in distress, regardless of the fact that a few days ago she had just been hospitalized. It's clear that Miss Lavian is an incredibly special girl in every sense. As we've just seen, our beloved girl has a very interesting life that can sometimes get quite complicated. However, she doesn't let it bring her down. Rose is an amazing character. I'm Ciara, and I send greetings to everyone who participated in the previous video. The long adventure has come to an end, but if you're craving more interesting Miraculous videos, you can access the video appearing now. In it, we explore even more fascinating theories. Until next time!